I guess here are going to be the intersections of lines and planes notes. The first thing we talk about here is going to be what an intersection is. Intersection is just going to be where two or more geometric figures are going to intersect. They're going to meet at some way, shape, or form, whether it be at a point, a line, etc. So the first thing we'll talk about is some important postulates. Now again, you don't need to remember, oh, what is a postulate, this and that. Okay, we're not going to focus too much on that. But we do need to understand what happens when lines intersect, when planes intersect, and when a plane and a line intersect. So the first one here is your line intersection. So your line intersection states that if you have two lines that intersect, they intersect at exactly one point. And we'll draw a sketch of this. So if we have two lines, we'll draw them in. Okay, they're going to intersect. What ends up happening is that intersection right there is exactly 1 point. That's what that means. Okay? Your plane intersection lets you know that if two planes intersect, they intersect at exactly one line. So now you go in two-dimensional, so you're going to see this line. So if we sketch a couple planes here, okay? So let's say here's a plane, and then we'll go, okay, here's another plane. What's going to end up happening is at this intersection between the two of them, you're going to have exactly one line where the two intersect, okay? The last is your plane line intersect. This is going to be when a line intersects a plane, okay? They're going to intersect at exactly 1 point, all right? So when you have a plane and you have a line that's going to go through the plane, we'll draw on that line. And this is what it will look like. We have a line that's going to go through at a point on the plane, and this dashed line just means it's behind the plane, so you can't really see it. Okay, and I've got examples of both the plane intersection and the plane line intersection. The plane intersections, I've got 2 index cards here, and if I take these index cards as planes, or flat two-dimensional figures, if they're going to intersect right here, you're going to see a line right here. So with the 2 planes intersecting, like this picture here, you're going to see a line on all 4 parts here. You're going to see that line. So that represents the line in which the plane intersects. With your plane line intersection, this is like if you just stab a pencil through a piece of paper. Okay? Whenever you have that line going through this plane, whenever you take that out, you see right there, you see that point that it intersects at. Okay? So, going a little bit further into it, we're going to go ahead and sketch a few things. And the first one we're going to do is we are going to sketch a plane and a line that is in the plane. Okay? So all that looks like is here we have a plane, and then we're just going to draw a line on it. That is literally drawing a line on a piece of paper. The line is on, or what they call in the plane. So literally we could have just drawn a line and just used this rectangle as a plane. But that's what a line on a plane is going to look like. The next one that we're going to sketch here is going to be a plane and a line that does not intersect the plane. So we're not intersecting the plane. So what happens here is we're going to have a plane, and we're just going to have a line somewhere down here. Okay? We're going to want this running parallel with the plane so that they never intersect, because we don't want it intersecting. Okay? It says line that does not intersect. So these have to be parallel. The last one we'll take a look at is going to be a plane and a line that intersects the plane at a point. That's exactly what we just drew right here. Okay, so you've got your plane, and you got that point where your line's going to go through and intersect. Okay, that's all there is to that. The intersections are pretty easy as long as you have those visual representations. So the next part here we're going to talk about naming intersections. We want to look at the intersection of plane L, N, O, so we're going to find those points, L, N, and O. L is over here on this plane, right here, plane R. So that's going to be this guy right here. Okay. We want to find the intersection of this plane and line MN. So if you look at where line MN is, that's going to be this line right here. And the intersection of the plane and the line is going to be point in. And our explanation for that is simply from the previous page. When we have a line that intersects a plane, it's going to intersect at one point. So this is going to be our plane line intersection. Our explanation will be plane line intersection. That's going to equal, the intersection will be a point. So next we're going to look at the intersection of planes LON. Okay, so the same plane that we're looking at, also we could call it plane R. Okay, so we're looking at this plane that I have in blue. And we're going to look at the intersection of that in plane NQM. So here's N, here's Q, here's M. So we're looking at plane T, also we could call it plane T. Let's look at this guy right here. Okay? And we look at the intersection of two planes. We go back over here and we see, okay, when we have two planes that intersect, we have our plane intersection. How do they intersect? At exactly one line. So you're right now looking at this line right here. That's going to be the intersection. So there's several different ways we can name this. Any two of these letters, U, N, and O, any two of those letters, but we have to have our line symbol above it. So I'll just grab the first two, U and N. So I'll call it line UN. And the reason that what justifies this is our plane intersection is going to have exactly one line. So plane intersection. That's going to equal to the intersection of a line. Now we want to look at the intersection of line UO. So UO right here, we already have that on here, right? Line UO and line MN. So here's MN, this guy right here. Well, line UO and line MN are going to intersect right here at point N. And what tells us that? Well, when we have our line intersection, we have two lines. Line UO and line MN are going to intersect. When two lines intersect, they're exactly one point. It's that point of intersection right here. So here we have our line intersection. And that will equal intersection at a point. And that's it for intersections, guys.